And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Ludes with my co-host Slamu from Street Sharks. I'm sure a majority of the people watching this video are not old enough to remember Street Sharks. For those of you that don't remember it, it was about four extreme brothers that were turned into sharks that battled evil, similar to the Ninja Turtles, but cooler because they were sharks. One of them was like a greaser. One of them was a football player. One of them was an inline skater. I think one of them was who was the other one? What was the hammerhead? I don't remember what the hammerhead was now that I think about it. Either way, doesn't matter. Totally unrelated to what's going on in this video. So, today I'm going to be telling you and counting down the best cards at every single tier in NBA 2K22, my team. So I figured I'd do this on 2KDB as opposed to doing this in the menus of 2K22. A, because that game frustrates me so deeply right now that I don't even want to look at it. And B, this is just easier since like it has every single card there for the taking. So let's start here. Now, when it comes to the gold player tier, it's interesting to say the least. Like, I don't think necessarily any of these guys are better than the others. Now, one guy I will say is awesome, and I would say he's probably the third best, is Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham is way better than you would expect. 79 three-pointer, I know that doesn't sound very good, but with his 75 speed and a good driving dunk, 90 driving dunk, he's literally one of the best gold cards in the game. He has no badges, and for whatever reason, 2K doesn't allow you to put badges on like any of the gold cards, but it doesn't really matter. Animations, he's got jump shot too. He's the only player with this jump shot. And this jumper's sick. Also, he's 6'7" with a 6'10" wingspan and can play the 2-guard. Darvin Ham is sick. Like, most players who play 2K22 have Darvin Ham. And I would say absolutely this man is super sick. Now, as far as the rest of the gold cards, like realistically, this is kind of a no-brainer, but Joe Ingles, he just came out today. He's an Evo card, so at his gold level, he's not that great, but he is a good spot-up shooter. He doesn't have any badges or anything like that, and he's not a dunker. But the key is, once you Evo him, which 50 points, 5 3-pointers, 5 steals, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. 5 steals, kind of rough. His steal rating is not great. 40. Yeah, you're going to have to get pretty lucky with that one. But once you do Evo him up, he actually becomes one of the best standalone emeralds in the game. So I would say he's one of the better emeralds in the game as well. He goes up a lot in speed, driving dunk goes up a little bit. He's not the best card in the world, but gold catch and shoot, gold corner specialist, hot zone hunter, set shooter. Now, I will say he's not better than, let's say, some of the emeralds with a dynamic duo, but as far as a standalone guy, he is crazy. I'm just going to do 3 per tier. Let's do that. As far as the rest of the guys from the base set and stuff like that, like, those are all very dependent on your play style. Like, some people might be good with like Boris Diaw or like whatever, any of these guys really, but none of them have any badges, so they're kind of worthless. But the best gold card in the game, not even close, Dennis Smith Jr. If you didn't get this card, I'm sorry. I hope they give you another opportunity to get this card, because this Dennis Smith Jr. card is legitimately better than a majority, if not all, of the Sapphire point cards in the game. 6'2", wet jump shot, base 113, really good. Like, he's got it. I literally do not miss with this card. Like, 81 three-pointer, 87 speed, 87 acceleration. What was that word I just said? I don't know. I am exhausted today. 90 driving dunk, 87 speed with ball, 86 ball handle, and he's a good passer too. Badges-wise, none of the shooting badges you'd really want, but silver catch and shoot, bronze difficult shots. Good finishing badges too. You'd like to see him have a little bit more of these, but it's really not that big of a deal. All silver playmaking badges, including quick first step, stop and go, tight handles unpluckable. Like, my man Dennis Smith Jr., DSJ holds it down. There is no question about it. Let's move on to the emerald tier. So, as far as the emerald tier goes, a lot of these guys are not going to be as good as others in certain playstyles. So I'm going to try to cover like look, some people might be really good with this Paul George. I personally don't believe he's one of the top 3 emerald cards though. Andre Roberson, as good as he is for offline play, I don't really think he's one of the top 3 emerald cards. John Barry's fun, but I don't think he's like a top tier emerald card. Rex Chapman's sick. That being said, I don't think he's a top tier emerald card. Right off the bat, I'm going to talk about Darren Collison. Now, Joe Ingles is going to be one of the better Emerald cards as well as far as standalone Emerald, so I'm going to already get him out of the way. But Darren Collison is still one of the best Emerald cards in the game. 84 three-pointer, absolute sniper. He's fast. He's basically a little bit upgraded version of Dennis Smith Jr. in regards to shooting and things like that. Dennis Smith Jr. is a little bit more athletic and obviously dunks significantly harder. But Darren Collison is, once again, just like Dennis Smith Jr., probably better than a good majority of the Sapphire guys in the game. Like, that's not even a joke. 3 tokens, too. Absolute steal. Like, he's so good. Some honorable mentions that I could bring up, like John Henson's pretty good. Dirk, a lot of these guys are good when you use the dynamic duos, but I don't think any of them are necessarily so good by themselves. Like, that's kind of how I feel about it personally. John Barry would probably be the other one that I was talking about. I was going to leave him alone, but this card, he's not the best. I would say Darren Collison is probably the best Emerald in this game, for being completely honest. Joe Ingles is probably the second best. I would say John Barry is probably the third. Like, he's wet. He's not that fast. He's not the greatest point guard in the world, but as a shooting guard, like, you can upgrade break starter, bullet passer, glue hands. Like, he is so much better. You can give him gold corner specialist, which is really nice for him. He's got a good jump shot as well with base 33, which only Terry Porter has. Good jump shot as well. He's just really good. Like, I know you don't expect it from John Barry, but John Barry actually feels really nice. He's not that bad as far as athleticism goes. Everything's good. I personally like this Klay Thompson a lot too. As far as the third spot, you could realistically throw anyone in here for Emeralds. I just want to highlight John Barry because I feel like he doesn't get enough love. Like, people talk about Jared Dudley. People talk about all the dynamic duo guys, you know. I feel like no one talks about John Barry, and John Barry's like super sick. Myself, I haven't even really talked about John Barry. So, let's move on to the Sapphire tier. Emerald, it's kind of weak. So, right off the bat, Duncan Robinson needs to be on this top 3. Duncan Robinson is stupid. He plays like no defense, which is fine because defense is so overpowered this year. You could hide him on defense, and if you actually user control Duncan Robinson, he can actually stick defense. Honestly, you could take the worst defender in the world this year in 2K and just off-ball with them. Let the CPU handle it, and they'll probably stick defense pretty well. Duncan Robinson is good in every other aspect, though. Like 89 three-pointer. He doesn't miss. Wet jump shot, I believe he has base 40. Same as Richard Hamilton. Jerry Sloan, who I'm really wet with. Just a good card in general. Also, 90 driving dunk. He slams. If you're someone who uses dunk timing, which, by the way, online, good luck if you use dunk timing. But if you do, you're in good hands with Duncan Robinson. Also, look at these badges, dog. Gold blinders, gold catch and shoot, gold corner specialist, gold hot zone hunter, gold sniper. And then you go over the silver badges. He has like silver shot shooter, silver clutch, only bronze deadeye, and bronze limitless, but both of which are upgradable as long as you have the badges. Chef, Circus 3, lucky number 7. You can give him every single shooting badge in the game. Oh yeah, did I mention he's a glitch card? So if you want to give him defensive badges like clamps and stuff, oh yeah, you can do that too if you want. This card is stupid. Like, he's one of the most overpowered Sapphires in the game, if not the most overpowered Sapphire in the game. He's 3,000 MT. I would say he's absolutely worth it. Now, as far as the rest of them, I would say, you know, I was going to say Seth Curry, but I would say Seth Curry or Patty Mills. Like, both of them deserve to be right next to each other. Duncan Robinson, number 1. Seth Curry, Patty Mills, right here. I'll just highlight Seth Curry because they're very similar in card. Seth Curry's good. He's got base 32, which you guys know I love. That's the Rondo, Jalen Rose jump shot. That's why I love it so much. Wait. Hold up. Does my boy Brian Winters has that jump shot too? Sick. Offensively, great. Patty Mills is really good as well. They're really similar. They're going to bring you nothing on defense, a whole lot of offense, but they're going to do it well, and that's the key. Where is Patty Mills at? He's around here somewhere. I'll just type his name in here. Why am I all capped up in here? Like, yeah, Patty Mills. I want to... Patrick Mills, whatever. I know it's Patty. He has base 98, and he's the only player with base 98 in this game right now. So if you're a big base 98 head, Patty Mills is going to be your guy. A little bit slower than Seth Curry, but I personally think it's worth it. The 72 speed with ball is a little troubling. I'll be honest, but it doesn't feel like he's that slow. But I would say him and Seth Curry are right there, neck and neck, for number 2. So I'm not going to say that either of them really deserves it than the other one. And as far as number 3, you could realistically put anyone here. I mean, Michael Porter Jr. is probably my number 3 as far as the third best Sapphire card, being 6'10 with a 7-foot wingspan, base 62 jumper, which is really good, 85 3-pointer. He rebounds really well. He's not the greatest at ball handling, but he can hit open threes. He can rebound well. He gets rebounds at a very high clip for somebody whose rebound stats are not that good. Because his rebound stats are not that tight. 52 offensive, 78 defensive. Once again, rebound stats really don't mean anything in 2K for the most part. I mean, they do, but if you're just tall, that's basically all you have to look at. Other than that, though, I mean, depends on personal preference. Some people would say Bagley, some people would say Cade, some people would say Anthony Edwards. It really kind of depends. Now for the Ruby tier. All right, number 1, I feel like it's tough to say. I personally would say Darius Miles for number 1. 6'9", 7-foot wingspan. He can get every badge in the game if you want him to. He's pretty much in the green on majority of stats. Decent defender, not the greatest, but okay. Great offensive player. He's just a little bit slow with the ball in his hands and slow in general. That's it. Like 77 speed with ball, but he does have an 85 speed, so he comes off screens really, really well. If you want him to roll to the basket, he's quick. He can kind of get out in front of people. He does have silver limitless takeoff too, which is cool. Look, limitless takeoff is going to be one of those badges that we don't realize how important it is until we get some overpowered dunking point guards. Like, I feel like the only people that know how important limitless takeoff are the people who have Derrick Rose right now. Other than that, he's got great shooting badges as well. You can add any badge to this guy. He does need some playmaking badges, but I mean, if you use him as a primary catch and shoot small forward or someone who doesn't have the ball in his hands all the time, it's really not the biggest deal in the world. But Darius Miles is incredibly good. His jump shot is a little slow. It takes a little bit of time to get used to, but Brook Lopez base is pretty good this year. I don't think it's like that great, so I'm hoping they don't give it to a bunch of players. But next up, I would say Damian Lillard. Like, Damian Lillard's still one of the best offensive point guards in this game for a reason. Like, Damian Lillard base is great this year. Hoping we get another Baron Davis card that doesn't suck. That'd be great. Other than that, offensively, he's in the green in every capacity. He's just overall really good. Plus, he's got silver limitless spot up. He's got silver chef, silver blinders. Like, no defensive badges. But like I said earlier, it truly doesn't matter. Defensive badges don't mean anything. Now, as far as the third best Sapphire Ruby card, honestly, that's really up to everyone. Some people would say LaMelo, some people would say James Worthy, some people would say Jeff Green. Jeff Green is actually very good. You know, he doesn't have base 98. It's interesting. I didn't know that. Like, I thought he was going to, but he's got jump shot 50, which is the Chris Kaman Brian Grant release. It's really not bad, though. Like, it's actually relatively easy to green. Some people might say Channing Frye, too. Channing Frye seems to be pretty good, especially if you get him evo'd. Like, he's really solid. 93-pointer evo'd. He's got great shooting badges at that point. Channing Frye is pretty decent. I don't remember what his reward is. Like, you have to collect a certain amount of cards. Other than that, like, I personally like Devontae Graham a lot. He's got a good badge count and everything like that. Some people would say, like, Siakam, obviously maybe Worthy and stuff like that. I'll talk about some sneaky ones, though, that I think people don't think about. This Jalen Rose is actually really good. I think there are better options at his position, which is why he doesn't get talked a lot. He only can play a small forward. Evan Fournier is pretty good. Mo Peterson is actually really solid at this stage in the game. Tim Hardaway is decent. Jerry Sloan is really good. I don't know what that's all about, but he's really nice. This Kevin Martin card, I don't know what is wrong with this card. He is one of the most annoying defensive cards I have dealt with, period. This card is stupidly good. If you're looking for like a 3-and-D Ruby card, and you don't mind that he has silver and bronze badges, this card can really hold it down. And I don't know what badges can be upgraded. I don't think any of them can. Now, Bullet Passer can. I take that back. But this card is stupid. Like, he's so good. And I know, like, a lot of people won't talk about it. I was shocked. Honestly, this Steve Smith card's really annoying, too. I don't know what's up with it, but it's just, like, super annoying. These cards frustrate me deeply, and it's probably from playing draft mode. Also, Dario Saric is really good, and Brian Winters is okay, and this dude, Brian Cook, bro. Like, Brian Cook is nasty. Like, he's got set shot 1, which isn't great, but it's the same release as free agent Moses Malone for some reason, and Moses Malone in general. I swear, if they give Moses Malone a different release this year that's not base 32, I will be upset. Like, I will be very mad. This release isn't bad, but at the same time, it's not the one I like. All right, let's head over to Amethyst. Amethyst. All right. Now, look, there's a few different cards I could talk about. Obviously, Kawhi Leonard is probably one of the top Amethyst cards in the game. One of the best 3-and-D defenders in the game, for sure. Is he worth 40K? I don't necessarily think so. Fred Brown, actually really good. Great shot. Kyrie Irving release. He's basically a little Kyrie clone. Really fast. Great at getting the ball off. Decent badge count. There's really nothing wrong with this card. He even seems to play defense a little better than Kyrie. I really don't understand what that's all about, but what are you going to do? Steven Jackson's really solid. Kind of a low badge count, but he's got Rudy base, so he's basically a Rudy clone. Really, really good. And for whatever reason, a lot of people did not select this guy, probably because he has a low speed with ball and stuff. He reminds me of Darius Miles with a better jump shot. That's kind of what I view him as. He's a little bit slower, but really similar. Draymond obviously has to be up there. I mean, good badge count, 6'7", plays the power forward, can shoot, can handle the ball, does a little bit of everything. Obviously, he's the only reason you would play domination, for real. Serge Ibaka is like a better version of Draymond, but if you run those two next to each other, you're probably in a kind of a good situation there. Fred VanVleet's a really complete point guard. I like him as well. Ray Allen. Peja's not bad. I actually like Peja. Some people hate him. I like him. Bradley Beal's okay, just a little bit small. Michael Cooper, by the way. He's high up there in the collection rewards, but Michael Cooper is nasty. Jump shot 28, same as Gail Goodrich and World Be Free. So I know a lot of people like World Be Free, so definitely something to think about. He is more of a 3-and-D guy, but he is an excellent 3-and-D guy, and he has some of the best steal animations in the game. Plus gold clamps, gold interceptor, pickpocket. What's not to love with this guy? Not a whole lot. The reason I mention them all, and I'm not talking about anyone else, is because I really think that all of them are so good that it's like really tough to say one person is better than the others. One guy I did want to talk about is Amethyst Sam Jones. I love this card so much, and I think it's worth, if you can get him for cheap enough, it's worth maybe trying him out. 6'4", 6'7", wingspan, great steal animations, 88 three-pointer, base 22 with release 71 upper, same as Walt Frazier. Really good. Now, if he's like 10K, he's not worth it, but if you can get him for cheaper than that, I think he definitely deserves to get picked up. Now, as far as the diamond cards go, I would say that Danny Granger is probably one of the best cards in this game, if not the best, but not really anybody has it. They gave him base 29, which is wet again. He's super good at literally everything except for ball handle, but it doesn't really matter. Hall of Fame catch and shoot, corner specialist, hot zone hunter, volume shooter. This card's stupid. They should have not made it a lock-in, but 2K will 2K, so it is what it is. Other than that, Derrick Rose deserves to be up here for sure. There's no question about that. I would say Danny Granger, Derrick Rose, and Dikembe are the three best diamond cards in this game. There's cards that deserve to be up there with them in some capacity, but those are the best cards in this game at this tier. Like, you could say Chris Paul or Darren Williams up there too. Luka, I don't think deserves to be up there. He doesn't seem to be that good. Gus Garrard is actually pretty solid. Richie Guerin's not bad. A lot of pretty okay diamond cards. Now we go to the pink diamond tier. So, I'm not going to talk about Melo. He's not even out yet. Obviously, he's probably one of the best cards in the game, but we don't know that for certain. I would say Glenn Robinson is definitely up there. I've been trying to get him, but I literally cannot get him. I hate draft mode so much. All right. Anyways, Glenn Robinson is definitely one of, if not the best, pink diamond card in this game. Rondo is probably up there, but I don't know anyone that's played with Rondo personally, so I'm not really sure. He's not really a three-point shooter either, but with this year's focus on defense, I think he'd be good. Wilt's solid, obviously, but I don't know anyone with him. Mitch Richmond is definitely up there. I would say Walt Frazier now and Houston are right there, too. Like, both of those guys are ridiculous. Dale Ellis has got to be up there, too. A lot of good pink diamonds this year. early on. So I don't know. And obviously we don't have any GEOs or DMs or anything yet. So hey, as always, it's been your boy Cheap Ludes. Let me know if this helped you at all. And I will be back with more content every single day. I don't know how many videos I'm going to do tomorrow. You know, I got somewhere to be. Riot Fest. So I'm going to be enjoying that. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.